So here we are at the entrance into the office. Zoom this out a little bit. A nice area here. Got nice tile floors. There's some areas, a little bit of grout is coming out of there, but I think that can all be repaired. There's no chipped tiles or anything. That is the entrance to the garage, and I'll head out there after we look at the rest of the house. And there's steps downstairs. I don't know how the seats are installed, but I've seen them, and it certainly feels like this is plenty wide enough, and a nice solid wall there. I think they actually mount to this floor of the steps, so that looks like that could be an option for you. Really a nice floor plan. And through here, you've got a laundry room. Everything is just very, very clean, very well maintained. There's a tiny little lip here. It's only about an inch. I stubbed my toe on it. But that, I don't know, would be too hard to overcome, or you could add a little tiny ramp there. Very nice kitchen. Got plenty of clearance in between the cabinet, in between the cabinetry, probably about 4 feet. Everything is counter height. These are really nice, solid surface. I think probably like a Corian. Cabinets are in good shape. They're like a solid oak. This shelf looks like it might be sagging a little. I mean, these pieces are like a particle board, but they're nice. They might be a little hard to reach from a chair, I mean, because they are, 18 inches or so above the cabinet height. But they've got, recessed lighting, lots of bright light in here. It's nice. The dishwasher is over here. And it's nice you've actually got two sinks. So this like your prep sink, or maybe while you're entertaining, and then the kitchen sink's over there. Windows are nice. They're like a sliding style. They all seem to be in pretty good shape as well. And that flows really well into the living room. So the wall units cool, that's for AC, and they may actually heat as well, but for the majority of the home, it's a boiler heat, which is really nice because it's pretty consistent. And we will poke our heads outside just because it's such a nice feature of the home. Is that a lock? What is that? I don't know what that is. So the deck, looking out to the lake, it's very nice, and I love the patio. I know this would be challenging, but there are certainly hopes that you're getting out of your chair before long, and this is a very expensive upgrade. Hardscaping is not cheap, but really beautiful lake. We can go down there, but if you see down by that boat, there actually seems to be a nice kind of sandy bottom. It is. Look at right down there. See all that sand? This lake is 51 acres, so it's a good sized lake. You can put a little pontoon on it. I don't know if you saw the disclosures. I sent those over. The roof looks like it's in good shape. I don't have the age off the top of my head right now, but I can look in a moment. The deck's in nice shape, siding. I don't see any buckling or melting from a grill, anything like that. It's an older home, but it was just recently renovated, I think back in like the late 80s, early 90s, but then again, just last year. The sliding glass door is newer. So through this way, this is just a really nice bathroom. Tiled floors. The shower, I know, was an appeal to you. There's a very small threshold, which is kind of nice because then the water doesn't come out of the shower. But again, if you, I don't know if you're able to transfer easily, but of course that bench is nice. You probably put some grab bars around the toilet. I think that would be pretty accessible. The counter, the vanity is pretty tall though. Like I would say it's taller than normal. It comes up to my hip. It's a freestanding vanity, so honestly I think it'd be relatively easy to replace, but that would be a bit of a reach for you, I think, if you're in your chair, because unless you could cut out the bottom, you might be able to, actually that could work. If you could re-support it a little from the center, you might be able to cut this part out, and then your feet could roll right up in underneath there, and you could get close enough to easily wash your hands. Nice storage. I like this surface too. It's like a marble. And even that is nice. It's kind of tucked into the wall, so you're not, you know, inhibited by the paper towel holder or the toilet paper holder. All right, and through here, this carpet's in great shape. I think it looks a little worse in the video. It might, you know, so there are some few little spots here and there, but it's really nice. And just a really clean, bright bedroom. I love the colors. I wouldn't change the color. I like the blue. Closets. It's not a walk-in, but it's got some really nice built-ins with lower areas to hang your stuff. And then let's head downstairs. I'll come back up in a moment for the garage. So these stairs are vinyl, which is nice, especially if there's down here, you know, whenever you're in a lower level, there can be some moisture, but there really doesn't seem like there's been any water issues here. I mean, there's a dehumidifier there they're not even using. Same tile as upstairs. The ceilings down here are actually taller than 8 feet. I would say where that is right here is probably 8 feet. I would say this is almost 9 feet down here. So it doesn't feel like dark. There's speakers throughout the house. So that's nice. This is just storage under the steps. So they do have a sump pump. And that's helpful, of course, if there is any water that gets in towards the foundation. That will be, you know, that might be for the bathroom. An ejector pump. No, this looks like a sump pump. I'm not a plumber. I'm curious why it's coming in. That might be from around the foundation. It drops it down here and then pumps it out to the septic or outside to the lake even. That's might be something we can investigate. So just lots of storage down here. You know, this is kind of a dark little dingy closet. Cement walls? Oh, this is a cement wall. So you may not want to store clothes in here, but great for totes and stuff. This would be, I think, your mechanical room. So there's the boiler. It's your well pressure tank. That looks like it's in good shape. Got a water softener, nice large hot water heater. That's probably there from condensation. We get condensate drips from our lines as well. Looks like they've got a whole house filter. Maybe some issues with iron, because there is some iron there. But that stuff is pretty easy to mitigate if needed. Nice poured cement wall, which is not common when this house was built. This really seems to be a well-built house. I mean, you can see it's probably almost 10 feet up there, that ceiling. So there is a little bit of evidence of moisture. You can see on the bottom of that piece of wood there, but it doesn't stink down here. Back this way into the kind of a common area, living room. Really charming with this knotty pine on the walls. And here's another bathroom. And the disclosures did say that toilet leaked at one point and was professionally fixed. I think on the back side of that wall there's a little evidence of moisture, but it doesn't look like any mold or anything. This is a vinyl plank floor as well. Looks really nice. It's in good shape. And then another bedroom down here. It's smaller, but you could easily put a queen bed in here. It's got a nice large closet. I mean, maybe even a bunk bed if you got rid of the fans. If you had kids that were visiting, I think you could do a lot more with this room than just the one twin bed. It's a pretty big frame for that bed. Makes the room look a little smaller. So then down on the lower level, I thought this was really nice because if it's raining, you can still enjoy being outside. Down here, this is covered, so this is below the deck, of course. So that way if it's raining, you're not going to get rained on. This is a really nice retaining wall. You know, you're not going to ever have any issues with that. Looks like that was very professionally done. The lake is just beautiful. I'm going to go down actually, and I'm going to pause the video and put my shoes on. I'll be back. Okay, I got my shoes on. We're back outside. So getting down to the water would require steps, but I know that is in your near future. This is a very, very expensive. If you were to try to redo this hardscaping, you'd probably have $100,000 into it. This is a lot of work, a lot of expensive work that's been done here. So it's nice that, I mean, this house feels very fairly priced to me. I'm a little bit surprised it's still available. It's kind of charming down here by the water. So it doesn't look like there's really a lot of beach space. They've kind of got it hardscaped with bricks. Might need a little bit of upkeep, but I kind of like that. You can see though, if the kiddos want to get in the water, I mean, it's really nice and sandy. Out here, it looks like there's, you know, a little bit of seaweed, they might say, lily pads. With the dock, the lake. That's really nice. Let's head back upstairs and we'll go into the garage. Okay, I'm huffing and puffing up these steps, but I just wanted to get a glimpse of the neighbors. So that's where I just came from. Nicely maintained home. Yes, please. So hopefully I can get in through here. I think I unlocked it. Nope. So this is the entryway from the garage. I think the only challenge would be it's kind of steep. Like, I feel like if your wheelchair wasn't motorized, you'd have really strong arm muscles. You'd have to. You can kind of see, it's hard to appreciate, but it's certainly nice. It's nice to have it attached. And then this garage is beautiful. I've got an epoxied floor. It's insulated. It's heated. So you're never going to have, you know, ice on your car, snow on your car. So I just don't really know how to show. It's just a bit steep. But I guess if you just got a running start, you'd come right up this ramp